Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, where we have done it, basically. In like 3 or 4 turns, we will own all of Ulthuan. So, phase 2 of our grand campaign complete, let's talk about objectives. Obviously, there is no danger of us ever sinking below 10,000 infamy, couldn't if I wanted to. We must maintain control of 20 total provinces, including all of Ulthuan. Obviously, the checklist is going to be complete very shortly, but that will not bring us to 20 provinces. That said, we do not need to worry about this. There's 2 ways you can accomplish this thing. 1, you can just conquer. That's what we're going to do. 2, you can make a lot of friends, because if you are military allies with people, then their provinces count toward your number for this thing, but because of the sword... Where's the sword? There we go. Because of the sword, we are suffering a minus 40 debuff with all factions, and also... I'm a monster, let's be perfectly honest with you. Nobody's gonna want to be our friend. So we're gonna have to actually own all 20 of our provinces. The reason I don't think we have to worry about this is, well, we'll get to it in a second. We must destroy the following factions. Almost done. We have to finish off this stuff, and then we have to go down and burn the Star Tower, and then Lothern will be gone, and that is this part cleared out. Here's the reason I'm not worried about the 20 provinces thing. We have to control 10 of the settlements on the major settlement list here. We currently own 3. In order to take and then hold 7 more, we're going to have to conquer probably the entire province that they're in so that we can get the public order commandment up and stuff. So doing this is going to get us the rest of the provinces we need for the earlier objective. This is going to be tricky. We're going to have a time with this. Ensure the following buildings have been constructed. We finished the balcony. We're well on our way to the Opera House now. We just got to wait for Lothern to finish upgrading. Maintain a total of 20 Sirens and Mongols across all your armies. Absolutely easy to do. And reach rank 20 with 3 Mongol Haunter characters. We did it with Lenny Sealegs, and we are more than halfway done with the other 2 Mongols. This is going to happen. Hopefully we won't lose one of them in combat, because that could really add some time to the accomplishment of that goal. But basically, we are done with the... We're done with the parts that require us to stand and fight a lot. Now it's going to be a lot of sailing around the world and screwing people up and stealing all their stuff, which I'm very excited about. Now, I did not end the last video by running a sequence of enemy turns, because I thought Alarielle is probably going to attack us when her turn ends, or when her turn begins. So... we have the ability to upgrade a bunch of settlements. We're actually making a lot of money now. Oh, I guess that's the thing we should do, is we should go through our settlements and try to make sure everything's in reasonable public order mode. So we are building a Scurvy Dog Pit here. I think I want to save population to upgrade Val's Anvil, the main settlement, rather than upgrading Torsa Thai, because we want to be able to install a public order building here as well. That said, toward that goal, Pirate Gallows is pretty useful. Extra growth and reduction in the public order penalty from lack of corruption, which we are still suffering, even at our current corruption levels. Yeah, you can see 3 points. -3 from lack of corruption, which is, in fact, all it takes to put us negative. What do we want to do here? Probably nothing. Nothing really needs to be done here. That's what I was just looking at. Oh, right, the Shrine of Sotek. We still have all these settlements over here. You know, we should probably upgrade the ports. Each one of these ports is 200 gold per turn. But we're making plenty of money. We don't have to worry about being stingy with it. Okay, we do have to move a character to Elisali, which is a little inconvenient for me. None of our characters are actually close, and all of them are moving away from that direction. But we can run somebody over there. It's not going to be a big deal. Alright, let's see what Alarielle does. I think there is a non-zero chance that she... Actually, you know what? I said the only place she can possibly go is back out to sea. But I'm looking at it now. She didn't actually make landfall there. She made landfall to the south. That area that she's in might be all cliffs. She might not be able to get away. Which, it's very unfortunate for her. I guess it's going to let us get the Never Queen trait on one more character. So, I'm noticing, as our agents are running around, as our singular agent is running around up north, that it kind of looks like this area isn't actually owned by anybody. Oh, although there's a Skaven clan up here, so it might be that some of the settlements are owned by Skaven. But it might not be that hard, I'm thinking, for us to just move into Nagarond. And that'll give us one more easy settlement. See some pirate agents here screwing with the Dark Elves. Or at least they were. So we might be able to just roll it and take over Nagarond. That'll check another thing off of our great settlement list, and it'll give us another easy province. If there actually is a Skaven clan there, I have no doubt in my mind that we could fight Skaven. Although I will say, they have some tools that are well suited to fighting us. Number one, they have really good artillery. So they'll be able to exchange blows with us. One of the things that we've been really fortunate about so far is that we have mostly fought Lizardmen, Norska, and a little bit of Norska, and High Elves, none of whom have effectively any artillery at all. Elves have the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, which is okay. It certainly doesn't match up to our extremely good artillery. So, fighting Skaven could be a little tricky, in that, first of all, they'll be able to shoot back during the long-range shooting phase, and secondly, Skaven are everywhere. Some number of Skaven will emerge from the ground underneath our ranged during the battle. Oh wow, they lost both of their armies there, trying to attack that, like, three-quarter stack on the sea. That's embarrassing. Yeah, we'll have rats emerge in the middle of our gun line and stuff during the battle, and that actually could be a problem for us. Why is every faction just following me around trying to wound my agents all the time? Also, they really got to fix that. Below 0% agent success chance bug, because that is ridiculous. It's crazy that that wasn't fixed the day after it was found. Creative Assembly has a standing policy that they only push a patch. They only do a game update around the release of new content, but that is an asinine policy. It's just stupid all the way around. Oh, it was a critical failure. In fact, Hegreen was wounded by Viola Drury. Well, it serves her right. Okay, let's see what these heroes can see up here. So, we did come over here searching for treasure as well as information about the north. Okay, the sightless eyes and leering grin conceal the riches held within, so there's one of those crazy mountain skulls over this away, probably, it looks like. But at the moment, we're pretty flush with cash. I'm actually more interested in what's going on inland. Seeing a lot of territory that looks empty, and of course, it might be the case that none of it actually is. Could be the case that... Well, actually, no. I was going to say it could be the case that this is Skaven stuff, but those are Chaos Portals. So this is something that has been burned by a Chaos Army within the last, like, 20 turns or something. I don't remember how long the Chaos Artifacts last, but I know it's not forever. So, interesting. Seems like those Chaos Armies were really, really successful in this area. Alright, Robin, are you the Never Queen yet? Are you a Never Queen? No. Alright, well, let's get you a new buff, shall we? Pretty sure Burke has it already.
Deckhands, forward! Orders. At last we will feast.
Okay, and we should not, yeah. We should not have to manually resolve this. Ooh, Gambler's Armor, that's pretty good. You know, honestly, like, I'm not wild about public order in the local province and stuff. I don't intend to have a lot of defensive armies, but... spending a lot of time running around Ulthuan right now. Alright, Lenny Sea Legs is... I don't know, man. His options really don't matter that much anymore. Okay, so where are we on hitting the next gate? Nowhere, it turns out. It's like really far away. That's alright, Celestra will clean this stuff up. So the question is now, what to do with all these other armies. I think I'm going to have Peggy Rains just head north. Looks like we may, in fact, be in position to take Nagarond easily. Also, we can just grab ourselves some treasure real quick here. Your army will perform better in the campaign map, I guess. They're probably not going to be in battle anytime soon. Okay, a little bit of money
Sails
and a
up.
little bit of upkeep reduction. Those are both totally fine.
Undead
Actually, you
raiders.
should probably be sailing at full speed here.
Navigating.
What is going on here? There's this huge elven castle. What is this? Is that supposed to be the settlement of Arnheim, or it kind of looks like just an unowned castle sitting out in the middle of nowhere? That would be a strange thing.
The sea knows my fate.
Burke probably goes with her, right?
Get on.
I want to grab that skull reef. No, I just want to get moving.
Move, you spineless bags.
Not really a good reason for one of my armies to be doing that by themselves.
Fallen decades.
And then we could, with the amount of money we're making now, we could put together a fifth army. I'm wondering if I was maybe too hasty to disassemble that fifth army, because we're gonna have to kill the Star Tower, and it has a real garrison. Overwhelming force might be useful for this, but honestly, I kind of want to have Silostra handle this. I know that her plate's pretty full already, but it just seems appropriate, right, to have Silostra show up and knock over the last stand of Lothern by herself. So what would we do with Robin Brown then? Well, Robin Brown could just be a scouting army, I guess.
Get on. Get on with it.
We can head down this way, because we need to get some. We need to get some idea what's going on over here. There is one of the great settlements is in that area. Let's see.
Fleet captain, reporting.
Eve has more than a turn worth of movement orders. So where are the places that we still need public order help? Right here, we're working on it. And right here, we are also working on it. It's actually going to rebel pretty soon. Okay, you know what? Well, Burke Black's in position to deal with that. I was going to say maybe we should turn Robin around and take out this this rebellion, but I guess it probably won't be a real problem. So we're about to gain 4 public order here. Okay, the big problem here is lack of corruption, which we are working on.
Forest of doom.
And keep buffing up all of the public order and corruption buildings until this place is all the way corrupted out. Yeah, and aside from those 3, we're actually in pretty good shape. So then we got to figure out what on earth are we going to spend the rest of this money on. What about the settlements over here? It would be cool if we could, yeah, get some stuff up to level 5. Great thing about getting stuff up to level 5 is that it means we can get some more global recruitment for stuff going. I definitely want to build a great altar of the Necrarchs. What else could we really do that would be useful? Honestly, kind of nothing. We just upgrade our money buildings, keep producing even more money. Each one of these is effectively a port. That's actually pretty good. We have a pretty good financial structure.
Ours is the sea.
All right, so we have a lot of turns ahead that are just kind of us sailing around. Means things should be moving pretty quickly for a while. Probably a lot of this video is going to be dominated by enemy turns, unfortunately. So Lothern has no standing armies. They have 3 settlements remaining. Don't try to assault my units. That's not even useful to you. You are not going to get them low enough for it to matter. Next turn, Silostra takes the Unicorn Gate. The turn after that, we probably don't get the Griffin Gate. I bet it's going to be 2 turns. Because the terrain around the gates in the little mountain passes takes a ton of movement to get through. It looks like not very much space on the map. But it's definitely going to be some walking.
Blessed me with this voice.
Is this a war declaration? It is. The Vampire Coast has also declared war on me. Okay, well, this army just got a new mission. We're gonna have to head down and defend our southern border, and we'll just push through Skrulk stuff. Over here we have Tretch Craventail, who is definitely a legendary lord. He's trying to inhabit all of this stuff as quickly as he can. I don't care about this stuff too much. It's a little bit north of that is where Nagarond is. And now we are at war with the Vampire Coast. Or, wait, did they not actually declare war? Because they are allied. Our non-aggression pact was broken and our trade agreement was broken, but we don't actually have a war declaration from them. Another bug that I heard about, I learned about earlier today, is that if a Vampire Coast faction that has coves installed anywhere is removed from the game, it can crash the client, and if that happens to you, there's no way to fix it. So like if you get into a situation where like one of the AI factions is eliminating one of the Vampire Coast factions, your game becomes unrecoverable, which again is the kind of bug that should have been fixed the day after it was. I mean, that sounds like it might be a real problem. They probably couldn't fix it right away, but you know, like that. This has been out a couple of weeks already. It is pretty close to inexcusable that has not been fixed yet. I think they're afraid of trying to develop fixes on one branch while continuing to develop content on another branch, which is like the way that you would do that thing and then merge them back together. Owing in part to the debacle around the release of Norska. But, man, it's just not okay to be that stingy with fixes, especially fixes to issues that can actually make a game uncontinuable. Uh-oh, I'm noticing Kislev has no armies there in the power bar. That's bad for us. I need the port at Erengrad to stay standing. Oh, hey, this is a thing we could have an army doing, too, is just hunting these guys down. We're busy, though. We got a lot of stuff happening. Okay, Servants to Chaos were now completely destroyed. So, let's talk about Lord Skrulk. The deal with Lord Skrulk is that he lives... Where's my camera right now? Okay. He lives in all of this stuff. All of these regions down here that appear to be ruins are probably actually in the control of Lord Skrulk. The reason I was so eager to get the floating pyramid, its walls, and its capped-out garrison earlier in the game is because there's tons of stuff happening constantly in this jungle down here, and I wanted our front against that jungle to be well defended. Actually, what's going to be the best way to travel here? It's probably going to be to stay in the water for a while. We'll make it over to here. We'll hit this treasure, and then dock at the High Sentinel. And that's how we'll reinforce the floating pyramid. I'd be very surprised if Skrulk tried to go up the coast to fight us. But just in case, it might be worth cutting the iron mine from the High Sentinel so that we can put walls there, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. We're about to have a rebellion in Tiranoc. It could just be that Burke Black hangs out for a turn and deals with that. Or we could let Salastra handle it. Because they're not going to attack right away anyway, right? We put up walls there for a reason. Or a garrison building, rather. Alright. Unicorn Gate is ours. I guess we finish getting him melee defense? Or maybe, like, leadership? Missile resistance. In case we have to fight any more magic projectiles, although I think that the factions that are remaining don't have that so much. It really is kind of a high elf thing, or at least I think of it as a high elf thing. Also, we could spend some money upgrading her ship a little bit. You know, honestly, an extra 10% campaign movement range is maybe more relevant now than it has been at any other point in the game, because we are about to have to cross some long distances.
Salute your betters.
Alright, so my plan is to get back in the water and sail across the bay, and Nagarond is over here somewhere. I don't exactly know where, but it's on that little finger bay.
Serve for eternity.
Yeah, we can just send Burke out. I'm not... Actually, wait. Toranrock's only showing 11... Oh! Toranrock does not, in fact, have a garrison building. I was wrong. Well, that being the case, I guess we'll leave him.
I'll order it overland.
Just sit in the reinforcement range of the city for a turn. Okay. I was pretty sure. But since he's done moving, you know, there's no reason not to dig for treasure. Do we want to make any changes to his troops right now? I don't really have any money left. I would have to undo Silostra's thing. We could start installing recruitment structures. Not any of the good ones, but you know, it would be nice if he was able to recruit his own rifles. So yeah. Apparently we have the money for that. Is that within your normal movement range? She can afford to go a little bit slowly because she's kind of waiting for Burke to catch up anyway. Just grab some treasure here. Back sealed rations and another 1,500 gold. Actually, with that money, does he have enough to start? He does have enough to start this building. We should probably do that instead. It's going to be way more important for him to be able to recruit Sirens than it is for him to be able to recruit Gunners, because we're way more likely to lose the Sirens. Command is available here at the Unicorn Gate. Corrupt everything. Okay, we got the imminent rebellion under control. We have access to all of our rights except for the Curse of the Bountiful Treasure, which I don't think we need any of them. We could throw this on after we fight this rebellion. Let's try to give ourselves the maximum amount of time to fix our public or not public order, but our corruption problems. Oh, and Eve can actually dig for that treasure. Let's see if I was right about the waterfall being what the clue was referring to.
Time to go.
Nope. Oh, there's another waterfall over here. Let me try that one. I don't know what this is. You know, this... Is this in the area? Yeah, it totally is. Okay, we'll try that one too. Alright, we're only about a turn out from this stuff. Yeah, okay. I think we're okay. Hopefully this rebellion that we're about to put down will be the final High Elven army that we ever have to face on Ulthuan. And honestly, removing Lothern from the game would be nice because we won't have to worry about their agents running around my island and screwing things up anymore either. Is it war? Alright. They are joined by Nagaron. So, we have just been declared on by two High Elf factions, or Dark Elf factions, in the area of Nagaron. So, looks like it's a proper war again. Fortunately, we have a couple of armies headed up in that direction. Silostra is going to be elsewhere and busy. I'm hoping that our more traditional vampire, zombie, pirate troops can handle this by themselves. I mean, Burke Black's a fine leader. You know what, actually, for our next army, if we're going to put another army together, it probably should be a legendary pirate lord with a ship of their own. Who leads the charge? Or at least, who is part of the charge. So if we do want to put together another army, we should spend the infamy and get one of those guys and hire him around the border between us and the Skaven. It's a shame the other pirate lords aren't doing a little bit better, because they're the only ones that we really have any ability to generate positive opinion with. And if they were taking stuff over and holding it, we could actually get some of the major settlements checked off through diplomacy. Ah well, we're just going to have to use our extremely powerful and fun armies a whole bunch more. Shucks. So, okay, over here we got Slaver's Point. Dark Elves are such pleasant people, you know? Well, we can burn down everything that's outside of the Nagaron province and just take that over. I guess that'll give the Skaven a bunch of places to inhabit. Whatever, we can burn down all the Skaven, too. Alright, so Tyrnok has risen up against us. This is definitely a time for campaign movement range. Mengel's Manflayers have been invited by our enemies, the Vampire Coast, to join war against us. Okay, hold on.
I might kill you, but...
There can be no peace. Well, like I said, we actually can't eliminate him, or our game is likely to become unplayable. So, we can leave him with a little bit of land. Yeah, alright, this is gonna be a little tricky.
Good plain sailing.
Alright, wax sealed rations for you as well.
All bones on deck.
It does kind of feel like sometimes the AI declares war on you just out of spite, like even when they don't have any plan to actually do anything.
First.
So Viola needs to just get over here. Looks to me like the best way to do that is going to be getting in the water outside the circle of destruction, which I assume is that. Okay. Now, the main Nagaron faction does still exist and is up here. So... well, I mean, we're at war with them already.
Yes.
We'll just pursue the war. Let's actually start with you.
About time.
Knock these guys out.
Pray down. Fire.
Alright, good levels for all of our Morghuls. So we do have to be really careful not to lose these Morghuls in combat, I suppose. We're going up against the new
The
force.
seas are mine.
And then we want to run Public Order +5 in all provinces. Hopefully this will be enough time for the rest of Ulthuan to corrupt out, and we won't have to worry about this anymore. Yep, and look at that. She's just short of being able to attack the other gate this turn. That's a shame. You can go over here and just hang out for a while. We dig for treasure, because we always dig for treasure every time we stop.
Rajon.
Alright, I don't want to get too far ahead, but like we can head over in this direction and plan to just keep picking up treasure until Burke catches up with us.
To the death.
Eve is going to head down here. Ah, the Pirate Coast has control of some stuff pretty deep in. Itza is one of the settlements on the big list, isn't it? Yep, it sure is. Well, I'm at war with everybody. We'll come down here and take it, I guess. So where are we at on Lothern? How many turns am I looking at until I can start building the real expensive stuff here? 3 more turns. I want to have a bunch of money in the bank. I probably don't want to hire the new lord until after we get Lothern settled. Until we start, at least until after we have started building the Opera House. Committed the funds for the Opera House. So, for the moment, we can just keep upgrading buildings that make us money, I suppose. And now I guess we can use all of the population growth that we're getting here. We can change this over to a corruption region, just help corrupt stuff nearby. Prioritize upgrading the settlement that has the port in it. And we can probably actually remove all of the growth buildings. I don't know what we'll put in their places, but we don't need them anymore. Here, I don't really, I don't care about this region enough to spend money on it. Here it looks like we can actually turn taxation back on, which is cool. Starting to get public order bonuses from the amount of corruption to offset the public order penalties from the corruption. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't care about this region at all. Now, over here, go ahead and upgrade the money-making buildings. And I suppose we could... Yeah, we could upgrade the main settlement here, actually. That's probably worth doing. Whitefire Tor. Sure, there's a port on the line there. May as well. So next turn we can research one of the new legendary lords. We'll get the Griffin Gate under control. We will finally be totally in control of Ulthuan. It's going to be great. And then Silustra sails south, and I guess heads toward Itza? This might be a little bit too much for her to handle by herself. I know that her army is terrifying and has done some really, really great work so far. But I don't know exactly where the line of what she can't handle is. It's probably well beyond anything any one army can bring against her. But if we insert her deep into enemy territory by herself, she's likely to end up facing more than one enemy at a time. Or more than one army at a time. And that is exactly the kind of thing where my overconfidence gets important characters wounded and stuff. So we're going to have to be a little bit more cautious. It might be better for Silustra to just burn the Star Tower and then sail back around to our other army and push with them. Or we could just have... It could be the case that the two armies we're going to have up here already pushing down to the south will generate enough pressure that the factions down here won't be able to devote a lot to fighting Silustra. I do like the idea of hitting them from multiple sides. They can only choose to project their force in one direction, and at this point we have a better economic base than almost everybody. Even taking into account the free resources that the AI gets for the difficulty level, we probably are richer and better suited to running multiple armies than anybody in the western half of the map. The mega empires over in the east, the vampires and the greenskins, the people who are controlling like 40 settlements each, they're still definitely able to outstrip us, but we should be the kings of the western half of the map. Or the queen, I guess. It probably really is worth going after all these. Maybe that's what we'll do with our new legendary lord first, actually, before sending him over to help fight Skaven. There's some faction that we've never heard of got destroyed. That's one of the Empire factions way over in the east. One of the little ones, too. I'm surprised it survived this long. Okay, uses lore of vampires, wields a polearm, has access to shipbuilding, lowered recruitment cost. I mean, that's all okay. Or the deeps, leadership when laying siege, ambush defense chance. You know, honestly, ambush defense chance against the Skaven is pretty relevant. Oh, Bones McDonald might be the right one. We probably don't need bonus versus large. Yeah, let's go this way. Skaven are going to make our lives difficult. That is for sure.
Yes, my pretty.
Alright. That is it. Ulthuan is now well and truly Vampire Coast territory. Now and forever. Because we're going to sink it to the bottom of the ocean, and nobody else will even have access to it.
Siren of the storm.
Okay, what do we do with Will now? I don't even know what I want from him anymore. I guess we should take the last level of Blacker Powder. With him having the blunderbuss shot thing, he's actually hitting enough enemies, potentially with each shot, that he still could use damage upgrades.
Get going, scum. Drown them.
Nope, that wasn't it either. Okay, maybe it's not a waterfall at all. Could it be that waterfall? I mean, part of the problem with these ones, like the treasure map that was pointing us to the dangerous fauna, There's just no indication. If there's multiple versions of a thing, there's no indication which one is the right one.
Landfolk are weak. Setting sail.
Alright, give me something cool. I may have to defeat a foe in battle. I can do that. This foe is someone we're going to have to actually manually fight, despite the fact that that's ridiculous. Because the balance of power bar is telling me that I will lose troops. But this should be very easy. You know, we haven't had a battle yet this episode. It's okay. Unfortunately, a lot of my battles are looking real similar lately. Yeah, they don't even have any rifles. They have some depth guard, which are cool units, but they're not going to get to us. And anything that did get to us is going to lose in battle with the Sirens, probably. The depth guard might beat Sirens. Because, right, they have their, they can't really deal damage, but they have their hunger and stuff, so they're going to be able to hold out. And the Sirens don't actually have amazing combat stats. They're very reliant on the fact that most things can't deal damage to them. Well, can't deal very much. Alright, what is the terrain like? Looks to me like we want to probably set up our gun line over here. Try to minimize the degree to which they can take advantage of the hilliness of the terrain. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, and then people who aren't rifles can just kind of be over here. They have no fast units, so we don't have to worry about them cavalry charging us or anything. Alright, calm down. I get it, you're spooky zombies. Should probably be a little bit closer. Can we fire on them? Yes, okay. We can just barely fire on them. We've had really good gambles lately. Okay, I mean, obviously, you know how this is going to go. They march forward slowly, we shoot them with lots of mortars. I'm not even really sure. I guess we should try to focus the mortars on the depth guard? But honestly, I don't know how much it matters. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Wow, is that a single mortar shot that did all that? I guess it's one shot from each of the mortars, though. They're going to get kind of close, and the gun line's going to kick in, and then all hell is going to break loose.
He got to kill.
Range on this is pretty impressive. Keep in mind, they don't have normal regen, they have the hunger. So they are not extra vulnerable to fire, but Fireball's still pretty good. Guys think they're gonna get away from the gunfire by coming directly at my melee. But what we're gonna do is just offer up some normal deckhands to slow their approach, and then after our gun line deletes this half of the conflict, we are going to swing them around. And that's how that's going to unfold. Slow these guys a little bit. And they're getting close. The Death Guard are going to almost make it to my ranged. They've done a very good job of approaching. They're all dead now. Oh, the deckhand mob over here is actually going to get to us. I probably should have turned on reload skill a little bit earlier. Alright, so as soon as those guys are actually gone, we just hold up around here. Intentionally kept the Sirens out of the battle so that there would be no chance of losing them. It looks like this is over. The enemy lord is dead. Their morale is gone. They're all crumbling. Okay. That's exactly how I thought that was going to go. I had no idea how the balance of power bar was as ugly as it was. Like, perfectly honest, that was the best case scenario for them there. Their depth guard actually get to be near some deckhands for a little while so they can have some kills. Balance of power bar on the auto resolves is it's a strange thing. Doesn't seem to be grounded in any sort of reality. The popular rumor going around that I don't think ever really had a whole lot of evidence was that, oh, the auto-resolver, it just assumes that every ranged unit gets to fire all of their ammo before melee happens. But, like, that's clearly not the case, right? Because the balance of power bar for all of my armies would always be all the way yellow. I don't know exactly what kind of sorcery is going on behind the scenes, but it's bad and wrong. It's a complicated thing. I don't know how you would do that quickly, because the whole point is that you don't want to simulate the battle. From a respecting the user's time perspective, right? If they've hit the auto-resolve button, it means they don't want to have to put up with battle time. So you have to have a pretty simple calculation, especially since all AI versus AI combat is auto-resolved. So you don't want the cycle of AI turns to take forever.
Their value lies outside of the break. As I foresaw.
Alright, so what did we get? What's our actual treasure? 6,000 gold, 1,500 experience. Yeah, okay, not bad. That was a pretty okay grip of loot. I think we probably just go blue line stuff here. Trying to make these armies somewhere near as replenishable as Silostra is. And then we really don't, like I keep saying, we don't want to get too far ahead. I'm going to sail hard over here, and we're going to grab that as well. That'll give Burke time to finish catching up.
All bones on deck.
So we have incoming Skaven. Srick over here.
The sea brings death.
Here's the thing. I believe that Robin is a non-legendary lord, so we could try to set up an ambush. Right, like I could move all the way to the edge of the reinforcement zone here. That puts my my zone of interference pretty close to the coast. I can go into ambush stance, and if he fails to see us, then even if he's headed toward the High Sentinel, maybe we get him. You know what? I don't think he's going to attack the floating pyramid, is the thing. So we could just go into the High Sentinel's reinforcement zone and lay our ambush there.
All bones on deck.
I need to have at least 25% movement range left to adopt ambush stance, and right here we totally do.
Voyage on. Waylaying.
Alright. If they go for the floating pyramid, they won't attack it on the first turn, so we'll be able to fight them there. And if they go after the High Sentinel, they're going to have to deal with an extra army. Where are we at on Lothern? Is 2 turns left? Yeah, so I don't really want to start the next army yet. I want to make sure we have a lot of money, right? Because this is going to be expensive. 13.5. And then we also want to build the Necrofex Colossus building, which is also going to be expensive. So really what I would like to do is spend money solely on increasing the amount of money we make. And then just, like, hold a whole lot. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. So next turn, Silostra gets to start sailing south. It's going to take her a while to get down there. Fortunately, we have a movement buff in addition to her ship just being crazy fast, so hopefully it won't take too long. I'm going to click this button 100 times. There we go. I kind of wish that there was a button that let you skip all of the remaining... Right, Viola had movement left. But just the tiniest little bit. All of the remaining notifications of one type, we can just completely turn off settlement upgrade notifications, which I think is what we will do here. Because it's too many times me clicking the nope, skip this once thing at the end of the turn. Okay, well I am noticing that Negarond and Harganeth are both showing up as being nearly as powerful as I am. To be fair, our armies are reliably underestimated by the auto-resolver. This probably doesn't actually mean that they're more powerful than we are, but it's still annoying. I'm still concerned. Ooh, look at all the attrition damage. He fell... No, he did not fall into the ambush. He just attacked us. Well... for some reason I'm not getting the city garrison as reinforcements. Okay, hold on. Back up.
Us out of here.
Wow, okay. They backed up a really great distance there. I have to admit to being surprised that we backed up... So we were too far forward to get to be inside the city's reinforcement range, so we didn't get the garrison as reinforcements. So I backed up there thinking, okay, well, we'll back up into reinforcement range. But we backed up so far that we're out the other side of reinforcement range, which is ridiculous. Like, that is just definitely not the way that would go. So I don't know what's up with that. That's annoying. Seems like they didn't actually have any interest in doing anything meaningful here, though. They just sacked a minor settlement that doesn't matter to anyone. Weird. Weird decisions. I would really like to get the Opera House committed. All the gold for the Opera House committed before the end of the episode. That's where I'm sitting here. Yeah, I don't know why the garrison for that, like... You are definitely supposed to be able to receive reinforcements when ambushing. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. If they had won the battle, we would have just killed them afterward. Or if they had taken the settlement, we would have just killed them right out of the settlement, so... Strange stuff, though. So we're at war with, what, four settlements at this point? Or 4 players at this point. Each of which is ranked as being roughly as powerful as we are. I don't know where the Vampire Coast is ranking, but the Skaven faction and both Dark Elf factions that we're at war with are showing as close to as much red as yellow. Excuse me. So we might be in for a little bit of a long haul here on these campaigns. I think we should be able to get them done with only a couple of armies in each direction. We shouldn't have to direct the whole of our force anywhere, which is good because I don't think we can afford to. If we were to put all of our armies on one side, the guys from the other side could just attack us. The exotic goods hauler was finally sunk. Alright, we got bones here. Alright. Eminar is attacking settlements that are very, very distant from us. And Eminar's attacks don't seem to really do anything, so I'm not sure why we need to be notified every time that happens. I thought Nagarond was on this bay. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, okay, it's just all the way over here. What on earth is happening here? These two are allies, so this is not like a violent thing. Why are there so many armies just sitting around Nagarond?
More like dreary elves.
Yeah, you tell him, Viola. She's really got their number.
Of the fleet.
Oh, we're still technically at war with Gerard's errantry army. How do we want to do this? I kind of think I want to just sail around. We can start burning down Haggrave's stuff over here because we're going to have to damage their economy to
Setting sail.
to threaten their ability to continue annoying us. And I'm just going to turn her around. We don't really need this treasure, and I want to keep these two armies together.
It is your decision.
Oh, Admiral Furion. Actually,
Navigating.
you stay slightly behind him.
Setting sail.
Blood and plunder.
Burke's army's a little bit more elite. He is more ready for nonsense from these elves.
Sing the songs of death. Siren of...
Alright, we are beginning a long, long trek. Next turn we're going to be able to build a ton of stuff. I'm going to just bank money this turn. I'm not going to spend anything unless I absolutely have to.
Not enough warp.
His army is looking kind of rough. We could go after them. They're in march mode too, so they're tired. And they won't be able to retreat. But
Council orders.
they have 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, and Warp Lightning Cannons are actually really, really good point attack artillery, so that they're more cannon-like than mortar-like, but they're way better than cannons. They have a couple units of Storm Vermin, which are actually tough, but shouldn't stand up very well to gunfire. They have some fast-moving missile infantry, which actually are kind of a problem for me, but obviously we'll just shoot them. Warlock Engineer, Assassin. Like, really, the major concern here is not even these troops, though. It's that when they start just having guys appear in the middle of my gun line from underground, I don't know exactly how we'll handle it. I think I'm going to take it easy for a little while. They're not actually doing anything super harmful. Let's not fight them until we have overwhelming odds, because that's a choice we can make. We can just hang out and have overwhelming odds. So what do we want? We already have public order in all provinces. We already have income from ports. I don't really know what's valuable anymore. Like, lowered recruitment cost down is such a tiny amount of gold over the course of the campaign. I can't imagine how that's worth 8 turns of research. So we're about to recruit a lord. No, not really. Like, this is 10 turns of research, too. I'm not interested in waiting that long. We should just get upgrades that actually affect our units. Missile damage up for zombie pirate. I mean, 5%. Whatever. It's an upgrade that does more than nothing, which is something that is actually kind of in short supply.
Fleet captain reporting.
And Eve, man, I don't know. Come over here and try this waterfall? Maybe it's that one? Maybe it's not a waterfall at all still. It's also good for us to get an idea of what's going on around Itza. Oh yeah, okay, let's just completely turn off settlement upgrade available. There's going to be a ton of those notifications all game long, and honestly, most of them matter so little that it's not even worth upgrading them. Alright, so with that, I think we're ready to move on to the next turn here. Two armies might be a little bit short for dealing with the amount of massed Dark Elf troops. It's not just that there are a lot of Dark Elves, it's that there's a lot of Dark Elves and they're all standing right on top of each other. Hey, you better run. So they have these black arcs. These are like a floating city, basically. I don't think they generate a ton of money, but they have recruitment buildings and stuff. And you can roll them up near an army to let the army recruit from them. Sort of like a weird version of a horde army. I don't really know too much about them. I don't know what the best way to deal with them is. I assume it is to send powerful armies against them and make them feel bad. Okay, Srick is ambushing near the floating pyramids, so let's just not fall into that nonsense. It should be pretty easy. We don't have any real reason to go over there. Robin's ambush was foiled, unfortunately. Vampires are not good at ambushes. Probably the smell, mostly. And you know, especially up against an army of ratmen, our smell is going to give us away from a distance of, oh, I don't know, maybe a couple of miles. This kind of omnidirectional Thunderdome nonsense is exactly what I was trying to avoid by trying to minimize my involvement in the conflicts to the east, by the way. I was hoping that by focusing on the major settlements to the west, we'd be able to get a strong base, and then as soon as we go east and start trying to take stuff, it is going to be like this. We're going to get war declared by like 8 factions, we're going to be attacked by from all sides.
Prepare to have your heart soar in
What, Orion? Yes, okay, fine. Peace negotiated. I don't know why they declared war on me in the first place, frankly. There was no way they were going to be able to actually ever get any troops anywhere near me. Alright, so this turn we are building the Opera House, starting the construction of the Necrofex Colossus building in Lothern, and then using whatever is left over to start up our new Legendary Admiral army down there by the southern border. Hopefully that will be enough to secure it. I don't know, maybe. Right, so let's do those things in the order I said. First of all, Illustrious Opera House, Yeah, this is pretty good. Vampiric corruption and public order in all regions is nice. Even small amounts of those things can matter quite a bit. And then we want to start that, and that's going to mean we don't have enough money to also do this. But getting these things going is, right now, right this second, is really important, I think.
Ah, my friend.
Now, there's a skull reef over there. We can just swing by that as we're on our way south. Obviously, if that is the sort of thing where we have the opportunity to fight another navy for a treasure, we should take that opportunity. Because boy oh boy is Celestra ready for that sort of thing. Nope, it's not this one either. Okay, maybe we're not looking for a waterfall at all. We'll figure it out. Negaron is actually a pretty valuable port, but it's almost certainly not worth setting up a cove. I guess the best thing for this pirate to do now is to turn around and try to solve some ruin puzzles down here in this area that might be ruins, because it's the only way that she can actually contribute money or anything. She can mess with the enemy armies in the area, potentially, but, like, not very much. What on... Why? How does that make sense? I guess this water's slightly deeper. He's, like, taking the shortest path to the shallows, and you move through the shallows faster. Alright. Trying to figure out exactly where that black arc went. Because if it's still in attack range, I would like to attack it. It is not. Alright, let's make sure we're not moving out of Peggy's reinforcement range.
Sails up.
Admiral of the fleet.
So we're just going to sail up here to Slaver's Point. Burn that. That's how we'll start the war proper. I want to so badly.
Get it done.
Okay. Something tells me that guy's not going to be too eager to get involved. So we probably just want to hang out. Remember that Skaven army's right there. But they won't be able to ambush me on the other side of my settlement. So we'll just go over here and dig for treasure, I guess. And then go into go into encampment mode. You know, it might have been, I guess, a good idea to... It might have been reasonable for us to try to ambush again, but I don't think it would have made any... Like, there's no way we're going to get an ambush off with a settlement between him and me. He's going to just go around it, probably. Alright, so let's recruit... Oh, we gotta repair stuff. Man, maybe I don't recruit until the next turn? Because how much money is it going to cost us? We want to grab... Where is he? Oh, Bones McDonald. That's going to increase our upkeep by 3,000. And he's not really going to be able to recruit too much this turn. He is in this settlement, or this province, so he has access to the cheap sirens right away. Or the fast sirens right away, rather. This province kind of needs a gunpowder building. That hasn't been true for a long time, but it is becoming true again, now that this is going to be effectively a front in a war. We should probably do that, and then I think we just pass the turn. Next turn, Pahuax is actually level 5, so we could install a Necrofex building here. Local recruitment of a Necrofex Colossus is certainly going to be faster. Yeah, alright. That's probably the right thing to do. So we are well on our way now to a whole bunch of objectives. But it seems like there's going to be more fight than I thought there was. This is probably a good thing. Keep the end of the game lively. Yeah, Negaron is showing up as, like, very powerful. I was hoping he would want to fight us. I think we can still reach that. I don't think he went far enough away to escape our wrath. Don't you come down here and settle this. Okay. I'm gonna say, I wanna search that, please. We have an opportunity to do a puzzle. Declaring war on me is one thing, but if they destroyed my opportunity to do a puzzle, I would never forgive them. Well, we probably ought to fight them here. So they were trying to use the underway to sneak past us, but they failed. The question is, do we want to take the auto-resolve on this, or do I want to just fight the battle? Taking the auto-resolve, I think, is probably going to work out slightly... No, you know what? We can have Lenny Sealegs stand back by the ranged and deal with any rats that come up. Let's do this now. This is a good opportunity to take these guys out. They're not feeling too great because they've been hanging out in the vampiric corruption for too long. That's what all this damage is. We are going to take a beating from Warp Lightning Cannons, especially since these are relatively high veterancy. Warp Lightning Cannons are just great units. Yeah, I think we have the edge here. Now, one thing I don't like about fighting Skaven with this army is that they are... their infantry troops are much faster than a lot of the infantry we've been up against. So we're not going to have as much time to gunline them. And they're going to be better at moving around, like, actually in the fight once the fight starts. The good news about the terrain here is that it is completely linear. There is no way for them to flank us. We just present a gun line that is as wide as the map, and they have to deal with that. So we want our Morngul Haunter in a place where he can respond to Skaven coming up through the ground. We'll like put deckhands over here and deckhands over here, and the Morngul Haunter right there.
Fleet Admiral!
And our Fleet Admiral right here to respond. They may just go after the artillery, which is why I want our heroes and stuff where I want them. And yeah, you do what you do. You know what your job is. And the Skaven don't necessarily have to come forward, right? We're on offense here. What is the range of a Warp Lightning Cannon? 430 to the 380 of... Okay, so I'm actually going to have to move toward them, probably. That's pretty non-ideal. Well, it is what it is. Let's figure out what that move looks like. I probably want to actually move my gun line up at least to like here, right? And we can spread out to be not just as wide as the deployment zone, but actually as wide as the map. Mortars want to move up right behind them. And you guys all do the same thing. Oh, you two. We just want to move up to like... Right? Yep, that's pretty reasonable. It's unfortunate that that their Warp Lightning Cannons are going to be so good against us, but we're just going to have to endure. You know, one thing that we're good at is replenishing after after a whole lot of deaths. And we do have our Healing Lord. Are they moving forward at all, or do they feel that they don't have to? Nope, they correctly feel that they do not have to move forward. Well, I'm going to let us take up our new wider stance, and then we'll just box select the army and alt move the shape forward. I guess we can accelerate this a little bit more. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, with them just having units emerge from the ground. Fortunately, they're going to have a really hard time standing against the Morngul Haunter. These little rat men trying to get in on us. And to be clear, this is not a unit of good troops. But a little tiny bit of damage was done, and so we shall heal it off. Okay, they're already permanently broken. They can do that a bunch more times. We don't know how many, but it'll be like in the neighborhood of 3 to 9, I believe, depending on how many resources they were willing to spend on buying charges of that. We gotta move forward like a lot. There is supposed to be a cooldown on it. I don't remember how long the cooldown is, but I think I remember that the AI does not suffer the cooldown.
I'm here!
It doesn't matter much, as long as we're on top of it. Oh god, we're close enough for the Warp Lightning. You guys have your orders. Keep moving. Oh, sorry, it's actually 2 guys, so it looks more like that. God, look at the Warp Lightning. It looks so cool. The Skaven army is super cool. Alright. Lenny's got this under control. I'd like to see a permanent break before we send him back around. But actually, the enemy army is approaching. You know what? At the speed they're moving, I think they'll get off the map. Alright, hold up. All of you gunners, stop moving. And immediately start murdering people. Sorry, not you guys. Actually, you guys are close enough. Yeah, stop moving and start murdering. The melee is going to have to just run through right now. Ugh. Really don't have a lot of melee. Let's see. These things are actually ranged. We should not expect them to run up on us. It looks like the storm vermin are spread out pretty evenly around the map here. Alright. You two do this part. You do this part. And we're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna have to figure it out. Reload skill. Ballistics. Let's throw grenades. Usually a good time for an overcast invocation of Nahak. Oh boy, they got spells too. Skaven are cool. Alright, Lenny, you gotta commit, buddy. You gotta get in here. Fortunately, Lenny is very, very well suited to fighting enemy infantry. Let's make sure that the artillery are firing at the enemy range in a way that makes sense. The Death Globe Bombardiers are not totally ideal for anti-infantry, I think. Oh no, wait, the Death Globe guys are anti-infantry. There's a different Globadier unit that shoots anti-large globes. But that is not the one we're dealing with here. So you are, yeah, just getting in on them. You should be distracting these guys. The gunners can fall back a little bit here. What we really need to do is get the rifle fire into the storm vermin as quickly as possible. The storm vermin are the only units here that are a real threat to us. Where is my lord right now? He's chasing... Okay, that assassin broke off because he is a coward. Go back and kill their warlord. Skaven have serious leadership problems. Listen. I am a staunch ally of the rat as a creature. But I think cowardly would be a fair way to describe rats as a species. They're survivors. They are consummate survivors. For that reason, if you are ever in a place and you should see, like, for example, a bunch of rats running away, that's like the scariest shit you can see, because that means something really horrible is happening. Trust the rat. Follow the rat. Be like the rat. I should probably have fired off my miscast chance reducer. Let's activate my potion of strength. If I can defeat this their warlord in combat here, it is very likely we'll be able to rout them. We're already seeing it happen. A bunch of their units are breaking. Oh, Plague Monks. Plague Monks are not very well armored, but they're pretty dangerous. Actually, I'll take on that assassin. Try to keep him out of the range a little bit. Get him, Lenny. Ooh, Jesus. A couple of my guys suffered a pretty big hit there. Alright, well, our wall here is about to break. The good news is, when that happens, they will immediately, all these rifles will immediately have a clear shot. Okay, we are beating their lord. It's taking a minute, but we're getting there. Try to reform my melee a little bit so that we can clear up our shot a little bit. Alright. Lenny is not really doing a lot of damage to this assassin. My guess is he's having a hard time hitting him. Nope. Camera got stuck on this, like, scaffolding over here. Alright. Now, part of the thing that's annoying about Skaven units is that they will break very easily, but then they recover very easily. So you'll see them break and run out of combat, and then immediately come back, and then break and run out of combat again. So the fact that we've sent them running is not an indication that we are safe from that unit.
Ahoy!
Okay, I think that's got it. Yeah, this is really bad for them. Getting ambushed in an underway battle leaves you no ability to escape. The loss in that battle means this whole army is completely wiped out. That is some high-value artillery that they're losing there. And really good XP for a lot of my rifle units. Actually, look at that, 189 kills. You know, once Robin has enough blue line stuff, we need to work the red line as quickly as possible, because we already have so many troops that would benefit from that big buff to rank 7 or higher troops. But this is a promising start. Clan Pestilence apparently is effective, administering a very, very large amount of territory. We've seen their settlements all the way down to the bottom of the map. So, they have a lot of fronts. They seem to be at war with quite a few people. And we have probably eliminated their local source of power, which means we can start pressuring them. They're going to have to move armies around. They're going to start seeing losses in other areas if they try to reinforce against us. This is good. This is a really, really good catch. It is especially great to fight during the enemy turn, because you get your replenishment at the beginning of your turn, so all of these units are going to be quite a bit healthier since we're in friendly territory. I think I will just take the money. Yeah, look at that. We're going to get almost full replenishment on all of those units because we're in friendly territory and our turn's about to begin. So we're going to be able to use this break in their military strength to push forward and burn a couple settlements or something. I don't know if we'll burn stuff or take stuff. Because the fact is, if we need to hold a settlement nearby, it will be valuable to have like a contiguous line of stuff from our settlement to the new one, so that we don't have to worry about enemies backfilling and then surrounding our new settlement. I don't remember exactly where the awakening is. It's somewhere over here in the northern part of this landmass, I think. This we'll look in a second here when it's our turn. But we need to take that. So we might want to just take the whole northern coast. We're probably not going to want to conquer all the way down to Itza. Well, maybe. Anything we leave empty is something that the Skaven are potentially going to refill. And if we're trying to get Skrulk weak enough that he's no longer interested in being at war with us, we may have to actually just take everything down here. It's alright, we'll do to it what we did to Ulthuan. I do want to say, in favor of those Skaven, they gave us more of a fight than most of the armies that we fought recently. There's some Beastmen who hopefully will help us mess with the Dark Elves. You can't really be friends with Beastmen, but you can have common enemies. Alright, we're not going to play any of this turn here. Missile damage plus 25% for all armies. New targeting techniques have been introduced to your army's training regimens, teaching the troops to focus on the enemy's weak points. Damage from missile weapons has increased faction-wide as a result. Well, we're about to have 5 pretty high-value turns here, I think.
All bones on deck.
Alright, Lenny Sealegs gets to keep increasing his ability to fight, but remember, if we see any dangerous enemy units at all, or enemy agents at all, we can just rush them. So, let's talk about... No, wait, sorry. Let's not do anything except hire the new hero, because I want to make sure that or the new lord. I want to make sure I don't forget to do that at the beginning of the... That guy's named Charlie Kelpclaw? That's pretty cool. And he's a fire starter. Alright, O'Bones McDonald, get in here.
Admiral of the fleet.
So we have quite a bit of money to start recruitment with. Local. Let's just
I'll order it.
get 3 units of sirens right now. And then from the global pool, let's grab 5 units of rifles. And we'll put in recruitment for 3 more units of sirens. Okay, so that's 2 turns worth of recruitment for him. We'll grab the rifles from the raised dead pool right now in the hopes that they will regenerate by the time the rest of his recruitment is done. But so this is his deal. He is just going to sit here and recruit for the first 2 turns. And I think that is probably a good stopping point. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we wreak bloody vengeance upon these rats and those dark elves and basically just everybody. And we'll see you then.